Friday, Flosstube. Hello, crafty friends. It is Friday, August the 28th. My name is Caroline. Welcome back. Thanks for coming back to visit me today. If you're brand new, welcome. Thanks for stopping by for a visit. Daily Crafty Chat. It is quite late in the day already today. It is 4:45 p.m. and it's Friday, which means that there's a large Facebook group, Friday Off the Grid, that are gearing up, those who can, to join in for their Friday night stitching party. If you don't know the group, or if you are a member of the group, you probably know it well. 6 p.m. on Friday evenings, we all join in together and try to stitch for the evening, have our own little stitching party, and share our progress on the group. And so it's a fun place to be. So yes, I am quite behind today because my husband John has been working on his construction project all day today. So I didn't think that recording a Flosstube video while there was an impact driver and a skill saw going off, all of those kind of really noisy, loud bits of equipment. So I waited until he was done. Yes, everybody clearly made it safely to the island yesterday, so it's been really nice to have the family back, and we've been having a pretty nice day. So I just have a few things to share today, and I even made a list so that I would make sure that I didn't forget. And it's just a few things, but I wanted to make sure I remembered everything. First up, I got an email yesterday from Claire at CelticHobbies.com. And those of you who have been with me for a while, you know very well one of my favorite works in progress that I'm working on right now is Savon by Landmark Tapestries and Charts, which is a it's a pattern in a series of patterns. I'll just if you're new here, you've never seen it before, so hang on and I'll grab it and I'll share it. I'm always looking for an opportunity to show it off again anyways. So here it is. So this is, again, there it is. These patterns are comfort stitching. Pure and simple. You can just get into a groove, fill in a color, empty a needle, a floss, and just relax. It's really, really one of my favorite things to work on. Many of you know well. And so Claire at CelticHobbies.com, she's one of the only places that I've ever been able to, since my local needlework shop closed down, that I've ever been able to find these charts. They're hard to find. And probably one of the reasons a lot of shops don't carry them is because the cover photos on these designs are terrible. Like literally terrible. You couldn't slap a worse picture on the front of a pattern. You really couldn't. But the actual designs with the colors and the way that they stitch up, they're magnificent. This is the 6th one that I have stitched. I've done 5 others. They're hanging up on my stairwell. I love these charts. And so Claire, when I started sharing this project, and I've sort of pointed people in the direction of Claire's shop, people were starting to buy their charts there. And as a little thank you from Claire, she has been donating $1 of every chart sold to a charity of my choice, which is Muscular Dystrophy Canada. And so Claire has emailed me with an update. She has $64 to send to Muscular Dystrophy Canada because of us. So yay! So thank you again to Claire. And again, I'm going to leave a link to Claire's little shop in the drop-down box below, where you can have a little look-see of all of the other Landmark charts up for offer. Now, again, keep in mind, you have to use a little bit of imagination when you're looking at those cover photos, because if you think they kind of look okay in the chart, they look stunning in real life. She also sent me a photo of a finish that a friend of hers had done and had sent her a photo, and she shared it with me. So I'm going to share it with you because it is stunning. If you are a fan of thistles, this is going to blow your socks off. So I'm going to put that photo in right here. Isn't that something else? I know, right? Just absolutely gorgeous. So that is called the Long Thistle, and it's from the Long Floral range. So again, www.celtichobbies.com, and the owner of the shop's name is Claire. And once again, thank you to everyone who has purchased a chart through Claire of the Landmark Savon, and also the other one that Claire sells. I didn't check to see whether she still has it in stock, but another one that I work on is Sampler Cove, and the name of the chart is Amtrak. So if you've seen me work on that before, Claire also carries those. She carries a ton of other stuff as well. Landmark is just one of the things that she carries. But the pattern donation for charity is the Landmark Savon chart. And so, yay! Thank you. Thank you to everyone who's purchased a chart through Claire and made that donation possible. I really appreciate it. Okay, so that was on the top of my list to talk about today. The next thing on my list is a little question from a friend of mine, fellow stitcher in Ontario, Trina. Trina sent me an email yesterday, or maybe it was this morning. I don't know. Time has ceased to have meaning for me lately, I think, and many of you probably feel the same. Trina sent me an email, and she had watched me show my ABC alphabet, the Prairie Schooler alphabet chart, that I have the series and I want to stitch them all in one big piece of fabric, and then I wasn't going to do it, but now I'm not sure. So Sylvia, I've mentioned Sylvia before many times. My friend Sylvia left me a message, and she said, you know, I've wanted to stitch those charts as well. We should do it together as a stitch along for our grandchildren. And I said, yeah, maybe our great grandchildren. Because that's, you know, great grandchildren. That's probably when I finish it. But you know what? It's fun to dream, and I love those charts. Anyways, I'm getting away from Trina's question. Trina's question was where she could find those charts at a decent price. Now, because Trina is in Ontario, so she's in Canada. If you know where I could get a decent price on the alphabet that you have of Prairie Schooler. So first and foremost, probably going to be looking for a Canadian source for Trina. So if anybody knows who carries those, specifically carries those Prairie Schooler charts here in Canada, and they're not too exorbitant. I imagine that now they are the Hoffman reprint, if I'm not mistaken. They're not going to be the cardstock version of it. You might get lucky on eBay for a cardstock version of the Prairie Schoolers. In Canada at the moment, ordering from the States, you can certainly do it, but be prepared to wait. I know that everybody is, the postal system everywhere is just a little bit slow, maybe even more than a little bit slow, and people are having to wait a fair bit of time for their packages. So especially if it has to come over the border, you're going to want to factor in a little bit of extra wait time there. So depending on how quickly you want those charts in your hot little hand, you may choose to go with a Canadian source, though even sending within Canada, everything is delayed. So add at least 2 to 3 weeks to your time expectation when you're ordering stuff from across the country, because it's best to just not be disappointed when it doesn't arrive super quickly. So Trina, great question. Hopefully someone has an answer for us. I didn't have time to look into all of the resources of all of the stitching shops and who might carry it. So I'm really hoping that somebody just knows the answer to that quickly. Okay, next up, I put up a video on Wednesday of the no talking video. So some of you probably who didn't catch Tuesday's video were like, what the heck is this? And why is this video on a Flosstube channel? This isn't anything to do with crafting. No, it's not. It was just supposed to be a little, 25-minute video of silence, nature sounds, for anybody who just needed to take a deep breath and just have a little bit of something relaxing going on, that, just to have a little listen. That was all it was. So what I didn't tell you was that the camera was actually pointed across the bay where the Beaver Dam is. And you can't really see, I don't think you can really see, if you knew what you were looking for, you might be able to tell that that was a Beaver Dam. But because it wasn't kind of close up enough to really see it, you wouldn't have known that the Beaver Dam was there. So what I did was, I remembered that John had done a little video for me last summer, where he went over in the kayak and he did a little, like a little minute video of the Beaver Dam itself. So I went back to my photo album from last summer, and I found that little video clip. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck that in again right here, in case you didn't see it last year, or you're new and you're curious about the Beaver Dam. And everyone who left me a comment about the beaver was letting my father-in-law know full well that he understood that he wasn't his favorite creature by leaving his calling card on the dock. That was quite funny. But anyways, let me pop in that little video from John from last year about the Beaver Dam. I'm going to put that in right here.
The Beaver Dam Chronicles, Take 2, and action. There doesn't seem to be too much action at the Beaver Dam these days. Beaver Dam is a little bit flooded with water. Water's up about 2 to 3 feet from several years ago, and so I don't believe there is actually beaver in the dam at the moment. Although over the years, last 30-40 years, there's almost always been a family of beavers living there. It's actually called a beaver lodge, Beaver Dam being the thing that they dam up a river with to catch fish, and the lodge is where they live, but for whatever reason we've always called it the Beaver Dam. So hopefully one day they'll come back and make another home there.
It is. That Beaver Dam has been there for as long as, actually it's not a dam, it's a lodge. It's a beaver lodge. I keep calling it a beaver dam. It's not actually damming up anything, so it's a lodge. Pardon me. It's where the beavers live. It's where they live, and they have their young, and they come back and forth, and they're very industrious, those beavers. We have evidence of them all over the island. That is their lodge. That is their home. It's not occupied every year, but in the last 10-15 years that we've been here, it has been occupied most years, and in fact indeed is occupied this year, as we have plenty of evidence that the beavers are there. So I thought you might enjoy that as a little fun little piece of our landscape around here. Okay, the last thing that I have to share with you today comes from a viewer, Patricia Williams, Patsy Williams. She's been a viewer for quite a while and a faithful commenter, and just a lovely soul. When I was speaking about Michelle Bendy's Smalls Journal the other day, Patsy emailed me and she said, I actually do something really similar, and here's mine, and I'll show you what I do. And she sent me a video of her Smalls Journal, and I thought it was so wonderful. Wait until you see all of the stitching in it. So I asked Patsy's permission yesterday if I could share it with you. She agreed that I could. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that video in here at the end, and I think that that's going to be a nice little lead in to our whip parade, which I've already edited in some fabulous photos for you to enjoy today. And I hope you enjoy Patsy's journal. Okay, so before I pop that in, I'm just going to say goodbye. Patsy will lead us out into the whip parade, and I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Take care. I hope you're well. I hope you're safe, and happy stitching. Take care.
This is the notebook that I bought to put the pictures in, and I decided that probably a spiral one would do well for cross-stitch material. But I have decided since then that now probably a binder would work better. But I have, because as you can see, it's getting thick. But I will show you the things. These are all smalls. Most of them are free, ones that I've found on the internet. I think I turned 2 pages that time. Prairie Schooler. Then I have a area that I'm putting a few holiday ones. Decided to make a separate section for them. Dashing through the snow. It's Christmas time in the city. Another Prairie Schooler, Starry Night. And as you can see, it's getting quite thick, so a binder would probably be the best bet. And also you could get some different sizes to put your cross stitch in. Thank you.